Typically, when I see animated films by Dreamworks, I find that the highly rated, award-winning ones suck. Well, that one was really good, though. And the had some underrated gems early on. I'll get to a different one later in the video. And the ones that define DreamWorks are not masterpieces, but great anyway. Then on the other hand, there are films by a specific director. His name's Tim Johnson. And this man is terrific at what he does. I see him in interviews. He has such genius and passion that he brings to his work that makes the films as terrific as they are. They're with DreamWorks, so they get wide releases. They make box office success, but they don't seem to get that high of recognition. So I wonder, why is it that his films don't get the high recognition that they deserve? To explain each of Johnson's great films, let's start with Antz. Let's see, this is 1998. DreamWorks scored well with the underrated Small Soldiers, but Antz was a 3D animated picture that hit theaters, co-directed by Tim Johnson and Eric Darnell. It was about ants and the adventure of one ant named Z with the princess of his colony, who was the fiancée of the colony leader. Then there's a soldier ant who's friends with the lead working ant. There's a star-studded cast in this movie. You have Gene Hackman, you have Christopher Walken, you have Dan Aykroyd, Anne Bancroft, Jim Cummings, Sharon Stone, Danny Glover, Jennifer Lopez, and the star of this was Woody Allen, but Woody Allen didn't write this. Naturally, the highlight of this picture was Sylvester Stallone as the big soldier ant Weaver. Give the man some air! You the ant! I think we can all agree he's the best part of the movie. There's some adult humor in this, and some pretty violent scenes too. The animators definitely are fearless with this one. At the time of its release, back in '98, I thought A Bug's Life was better. It's been almost 20 years since then, and I've changed my mind. I think Antz holds up a lot better than A Bug's Life does. Then 2003 brought us this amazing 2D animated fantasy adventure, Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. And golly, this is a huge favorite of mine for animated features. Co-directed by Tim Johnson and Patrick Gilmore, it stars Brad Pitt as the voice of Sinbad, a thief who leads his team of sailor thieves on trips to rob ships, steal fortunes, all until Sinbad is framed for a major robbery and sentenced to death. But then his childhood friend Proteus, prince of the city that is sentencing Sinbad, steps in and demands himself to substitute the sentence so that Sinbad can take his team on an adventure and prove Sinbad's innocence. Meanwhile, Marina, voiced by Catherine Zeta-Jones, is a woman involved with Proteus but has always dreamed of a life at sea. So she sneaks in and joins Sinbad so that she can make sure Sinbad keeps his word. I love the villainess in this picture especially. Eris, the goddess of discord, voiced by Michelle Pfeiffer. She's seductive, she's evil, and she's the one responsible for framing Sinbad. What I really love about the adventure as well is that it's not all about Sinbad. Sinbad has his whole team with him, and each team member has a distinctive value that contributes to the adventure. The adult humor is strong with this one. With this kind of story and human characterization, the writers definitely made this for teens and adults. It doesn't mean kids won't like it. I think kids will love it. But the adult themes are what make this picture. Add the effects, the creative combination of 3D and 2D animation, and you have an animated masterpiece that needs to live on after bombing at the box office and not getting that many good reviews. A lot of people say The Road to El Dorado is underrated. It is. This is phenomenally underrated. And after this movie didn't do well at the box office, DreamWorks folded their 2D animation department. Over the Hedge. This one is nowhere near as good as the previous two, but it's very funny and very fun. It came out in 2006. The message about animals leaving their natural habitat and succumbing to junk food consumerism the way modern humans do is not fully realized. But when it works, it's very funny with flair and cuteness. Again, we have a big cast: Bruce Willis, Gary Shandling, Steve Carell, Wanda Sykes, Avril Lavigne, Thomas Hayden Church, Nick Nolte, and several others. Co-directed by Tim Johnson and Kerry Kirkpatrick. And the zaniness is very fun. Tim Johnson was executive producer for How to Train Your Dragon, so I'll touch on it. The ending, part melodramatic, part cop-out, since we don't see exactly how the lead hero led to that conclusion. On the contrary, the visual experience is exhilarating, and you don't need the 3D glasses to see it. It's the job of the movie to provide the visual experience, not the 3D glasses. The humans and dragons coming together makes for a really nice and cool story. Tim Johnson didn't have his name on the sequel, but I might as well touch on that too. It is nice to see the humans get older, and the story's kind of corny. It cuts between Hiccup bringing his mom and dad together, while Hiccup's friends and their dragons are under peril by a villain. When that part's over, it gets good again. The climax could have been an opportunity to see Hiccup and all his friends bring the dragons to face the villain and get their payback, but instead it's Hiccup bringing the dragons to face the villain and the friends watch in support. I didn't like that. In the end, it maintains its heart without insulting. The charm redeems the picture. I'd say it's a solid sequel. And now, the first film to credit Tim Johnson as the sole director from this year, 2015, and so far my favorite movie of the year, Home. This film struck a chord with me. It hit me right here. I've been thinking about it since I saw it. I couldn't help but love this film from start to finish. Let's see, it's by DreamWorks. It got a wide release. It's making bank at the box office. From audience perspective, a lot of people agree with me that this is a really great movie, and yet critics refuse to give in to it, insisting that it's a copy of other alien pictures. Let's see, movies about humans interacting with aliens. I mean, I've seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I've seen E.T., I've seen District 9, I've seen Lilo and Stitch, and that one was a really dumb and juvenile kids movie. Home doesn't remind me of any of the alien movies I just mentioned. Actually, a few scenes from Home remind me in a good way of Titan A.E., which is an underrated animated masterpiece by Don Bluth, but that's totally different. In Home, we have aliens, cute little aliens, who are on the run searching for a new planet to be their home. I guess their original home planet was sadly destroyed, or they were exiled by a new species. Pretty unfortunate for them. But these aliens, led by Captain Smek, are led to find Earth. And Captain Smek leads the aliens to believe that they're making friends with the Earthlings, not knowing that they're really abducting humans and sending them to concentration camps while they steal the city's streets and houses. Pretty lighthearted for such dark subject matter, wouldn't you say? It turns out one alien named O is a fugitive. He constantly makes mistakes. Now he's a fugitive, and the other aliens are out to find him and arrest him. A young teen who's really smart. She escaped the abduction with her kitty, and she's out to find her mom, who sadly didn't escape from getting abducted. The fugitive O is voiced by Jim Parsons from Big Bang Theory, and the Captain Smek, is played by Steve Martin. The mom is played by J-Lo, and the teen human who's out to find mom is played by Rihanna. You know, the singer, Rihanna, that's her. She plays Gratuity, her name is, and her nickname is Tip. So, a run-in fight between Tip and the alien O leads to them having to work together because O is a fugitive and Tip certainly doesn't want to get captured by the aliens either. So now they have to work together to escape the aliens that are out to get both of them and find the abducted humans, free them, and find Tip's mom. Plus, the aliens are on the run from another alien species that's out to find them, and this leads to a big emotional climax at the end. The payoff is so rewarding. This is hilarious in such a dark way, and it's also quite heartfelt and deep in its friendship message. It's brilliant. It's not a musical. It has a soundtrack, so several songs in the background drive several scenes, and each song is amazing. Every song got stuck in my head. The theme of family, the theme of judging others, caring for others, learning to work with people who are the opposites of you, finding new homes, ways to live. It's very rich and passionate in these themes. You know what I believe? I believe that we can add Home to the list of great alien pictures. At this point, I'd say Tim Johnson has some of the best creative abilities for animation right now. I'm anxious to see what he will make next. Until then, I really want you to see his films, or if you have already, revisit his underrated achievements. Sinbad, and Home. Let's all appreciate animation the way we used to when we were kids again.